Once upon a time, there was a hunter who lived in a remote village somewhere in Africa. One day, as it was his wont, he went on a hunting expedition promising his family that he would come back with assorted game so they could have a feast. However, after stalking the forest for several days and several nights, there was no game in sight. He thought that perhaps, if he went farther into the forest, he would get lucky. But the farther he went, the more tranquil the forest became, not a rumble or a stir. He did not even glimpse a rodent. He ran out of food and water. He soon began to starve. But lack of food did not worry him as much as lack of water. Yet, he kept pushing on deeper into the forest. Hunting for game was no longer his priority. He was desperately in need of water and maybe food, but he met with no luck. Soon he began to hallucinate and he feared that he might die. Well, given the circumstances he found himself in, dying would not be such a tragedy. However, if it was his fate, at least he should find a cave or somewhere a little concealed to lay his head and die so that wild animals would not feast on his body. As he stood, swaying on one spot, drunk with thirst and hunger, he suddenly saw a narrow path that he did not notice before. He thought perhaps he was still hallucinating, but he followed the path. Overhead, tree branches formed heavy canopies that shut out the sky. He trudged on, still hoping to find a spot hidden enough to hold his body. He had not gone beyond a few meters when he came upon an open field that looked like the courtyard of somebody's house. When he managed to look up, lo and behold, he saw a signboard that said, "Food is ready." As if that was not exhilarating enough, underneath this advertisement was written, "All you can eat for free, your ancestors have already paid for your food." With the last energy he could muster, he trudged towards the direction that signboard pointed, and he soon found himself in a big compound. Everyone he saw appeared busy, dedicated to the affairs of the stomach. Somewhere pounding yam, somewhere cooking the soup, somewhere fetching rice into a large pot, and somewhere busy skinning freshly killed the game of different stripes. As the famished hunter stood bewildered in the middle of all the frenetic activities of cooking and frying and cutting and pounding, he wondered what to make up the whole scene. Could it be that he had died and had ended up in heaven? He was still trying to make sense of everything when he saw two ladies walk towards him with two crystal jugs of hot note-like milk. Watch out for the part 2.